In this lecture, we will learn about the indeterminate forms and the L'Hopital's rule. So we learn how to take the limit of the expression in this section. Limit of the first quadratic expression, you can factor the numerator as x minus 4 times x plus 4, while the denominator can also be factored. After factoring, you see that you have common factors, which is x minus 4, x minus 4. So you're going to cancel them. For the remaining function, you're going to plug in x equal to 4. And then when you simplify, 4 plus 4 is 8, 4 minus 1 is 3. So you are able to calculate the limit. Before factoring, had you tried plugging in the limit x equal to 4 in the very first step, which is 4 square minus 16, you would have got it as 0. Similarly, when you plug in x equal to 4 in the denominator, simplify, you get 0. You get 0 over 0 form. 0 over 0 form is an indeterminate form. And you know that you don't want an indeterminate form as your answer, because it's not defined. So what you do is, you try to do some algebraic tricks or any other trigonometric tricks if it's a trigonometric expression, and make sure that you get a nice neat finite answer. So we have one more example. Let's plug in x equal to 0 in the very first step. 2 to the 0. Any number to the 0 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Similarly, plug in x equal to 0 in the denominator, you have 0. So all you have is 0 over 0. So the L'Hopital's rule says that you can differentiate the numerator. So let's differentiate 2 to the x. We have learned this in one of the sections in chapter 3, that the differentiation of a to the x is a to the x ln a. So we use this formula here. Differentiation of 2 to the x is 2 to the x ln 2. Differentiation of 1 is 0, so it's okay not to write. In the denominator, differentiation of x is 1. Now that you have differentiated the numerator and the denominator, you could write the limit x approaching 0. So plug in x equal to 0 and check if you're getting a finite answer. 2 to the 0 ln 2 divided by 1. 2 to the 0 is 1. ln 2 divided by 1 is ln 2. So you got a nice neat finite answer. So the rule we applied here is a L'Hopital's rule. You don't have to write the entire expression. Write L dot H or LH rule. So we have 7 cases of indeterminate forms. One is 0 over 0, infinity over infinity, infinity minus infinity, 0 times infinity, 0 to the 0, 1 to the infinity, and infinity to the 0. Sometimes students do this when they see a term infinity minus infinity. It's like writing 2 minus 2, they tend to write 0 plus, but please do not write this. Infinity minus infinity is not 0, but rather you want to write this as indeterminate form, because each time you write infinity, you don't know exactly how many numbers are there. All you know is it's infinite numbers. It's not a nice, neat, defined number. So do not write infinity minus infinity as 0, or do not write 0 times infinity as 0. This is also a wrong way of writing. So all these forms are called as indeterminate forms. So the right definition will be indeterminate. Now let's go over this L'Hopital's rule. So the L'Hopital's rule says that we can differentiate the denominator as well as the numerator. Suppose the function f of x and g of x are the differential functions, and say the derivative of the denominator is not 0 on any given interval I that contains a point a, then limit of x approaching a f of x, if the numerator limit is 0, and say the denominator limit is also 0, or the numerator limit approaches positive or negative infinity, similarly with the denominator limit, then you say the limit of f divided by g, the given function, is limit of x approaching a, derive the numerator f prime, derive the denominator g prime. So if the limit of the right hand side exists, or is like infinity or negative infinity. Case 1, 0 over 0 or infinity over infinity form. So question is asking us to evaluate this, so let's do it. In the very first time when you plug in x equal to 4, x equal to 4, we have already seen this. These type of functions, 16 minus 16 is 0. Denominator 4 square is 16. 16 plus 4 is 20. Minus 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 20 is 0. So because you got 0 over 0, you are applying the L'Hopital's rule. So its limit x approaching 4, factor the numerator, you have x minus 4 and then x plus 4. Factor the denominator, you have x minus 4 and then x minus 1. Now that you have factored, you are able to see the common factors x minus 4 cancel. Plug in x equal to 4, so it's 4 plus 4 divided by 4 minus 1. So it's 8 over 3. In the next example, before you start evaluating or like doing any algebraic trick, I want you to plug in x equal to 0 and see the value of the function. It's e to the 0, which is 1, plus e to the negative 0 is also 1. 1 plus 1, 2, 2 minus 2 is 0. Cosine of the 0 is 1, so 1 minus 1 is 0. So because it's 0 over 0, you can apply the L'Hopital's rule. So we have differentiation of e to the x is e to the x. Differentiation of e to the negative x is negative e to the negative x. Differentiation of negative 2 is 0, so don't write. Differentiation of 1 in the denominator 0. Differentiation of cosine will have a negative sign. You already have a negative, so the term becomes positive. So it's sine of 2x. But don't forget to do the chain rule of differentiation, which is differentiate 2x again, so it's 2. So here is the chain rule of differentiation. Now before you do a L'Hopital's rule again, you want to check the value of the limit by plugging in limit x approaching 0. Plug this in the numerator, e to the 0 minus e to the 0 is 0. Denominator sine 0 is 0, 0 times 2 is still 0. So you see that the value of the limit is still 0 over 0, which is an indeterminate form. So because you are able to find an indeterminate form, you can apply the L'Hopital's rule again. So let's differentiate the numerator. Differentiation of exponential is the same. Differentiation of negative exponential negative x, is negative of exponential negative x. You already have a negative. So it becomes positive exponential negative x. Divided by 2 is a constant. Differentiation of sine is cosine 2x times 2 times 2. So this becomes times 4. Now plug the limit. You have e to the 0 plus e to the 0 again, negative 0. Still you can read as 1 over e to the 0, so it's e to the 0. In the denominator you have cosine 0 times 4. Whenever you see the term e to the 0 or e to the negative 0, you can write these as 1. Cosine 0 is 1. So it's 2 divided by 4, or it is 1 half. So at this step, we did have a limit x approaching 0 and we evaluated the limit. In the next example, limit x approaching 0 of the given function. So say we apply the L'Hopital's rule for this problem. So differentiate the numerator. E to the x differentiation is e to the x. Differentiate the denominator, negative e to the differentiate e to the negative x. It's negative e to the negative x. Differentiate the denominator, it's 2x. Say again you want to apply the L'Hopital's rule. So you have limit x approaching 0. Differentiation of exponential is the same. Differentiation of exponential negative x is negative exponential negative x. Negative times negative makes positive, divided by 2. Say at this point you want to plug in the limit x equal to 0. All you have is 1 plus 1, which is 2, divided by 2, which is 1. It's very nice, easy, fast to do like this, but you have to be very careful. And I would say that this is wrong. The reason is, in the very first step, we did not check if this was indeterminate form. We did not see whether it was a 0 over 0 form or it was any other indeterminate form like infinity over infinity, 0 over 0. We did not check any. We did not know what form was it. All we did was just started applying the L'Hopital's rule. So you have to be very, very careful. So I would write here, you must check to see if the L'Hopital's rule applies. If so, then you can go ahead and start differentiating numerator and the denominator. Otherwise, it's meaningless to apply the L'Hopital's rule. So let me apply the limit and check what's the value of the limit. E to the x plus e to the negative x divided by x squared. So when I plug in the limit in the numerator, e to the 0 is 1, e to the negative 0 is also 1. In the denominator, I have 0 square, which is 0. So I have 2 over 0. 2 over 0. Any number divided by 0 is infinity. So this is infinity. So your answer is infinity. In the next problem, let's apply the limit in the very first step to check what form of the function is this. Is this the indeterminate form or does it give you a nice, neat, finite answer? So plug in tangent pi over 2. Plug in x equal to pi over 2. So tangent pi over 2 is infinity. So the numerator becomes infinity. And plug in pi over 2 in the denominator. Secant pi over 2. Secant pi over 2 is also infinity. So you have infinity. You might want to know the graphs of tangent and cosecant to answer this. Whether what's the value of tangent or secant at pi over 2. You have two asymptotes for the tangent function, one at pi over 2, one at negative pi over 2. And the graph of the tangent function looks like this. You go as close as possible to the vertical asymptote, but do not touch it. So at pi over 2, you see the tangent function is going to infinity. That's the reason we wrote infinity. So let's do a graph for secant function. Similarly, I want you to draw two vertical lines, negative pi over 2, cosine pi over 2, and then try to join them using a cosine curve. So if the black ones are your cosine curve, the secant curve looks like this because secant is reciprocal ratio of cosine. This is your secant curve, and this will be your cosine curve. So now you want to write the L'Hopital's rule, which is limit, because you got an infinity over infinity, and you see that secant at pi over 2 is also going up, which means it's infinity. So now let's write the L'Hopital's rule, which is limit x approaching pi over 2 minus, apply the differentiation for the numerator, differentiate 4 tangent x, all you have is 4 secant square x. Differentiate 1 plus secant, differentiation of 1 is 0, differentiation of secant is secant tan. Now you can cancel one of these secant terms here, and all you have is secant divided by tan. So you can write this as limit x approaching pi over 2 minus, and then you have 4 secant divided by tangent. So you have limit x approaching pi over 2 minus, 4 secant can be written as 4 over cosine, and tangent can be written as sine over cosine. So now you can write limit x approaching pi over 2 minus, you can cancel these cosines, and all you have is 4 divided by sine. Evaluate the limit, sine at pi over 2 is 1, so 4 divided by 1 is 4. The next case is infinity minus infinity limits. These are in indeterminate form. Again, you will see infinity minus infinity when you plug in the limit values. So let me plug in x equal to pi over 2 here and pi over 2 here. So in the very first step, I see that in secant pi over 2, we just now saw it's infinity, and tangent pi over 2 is also infinity. Very easy to write infinity minus infinity is 0. Again, that's wrong way of writing because this is an indeterminate form. You cannot subtract infinite numbers from infinite numbers. So I want you to consider this an indeterminate form and proceed with applying the L'Hopital's rule. So x approaching pi over 2 minus. So secant can be written as 1 over cosine and tangent can be written as sine over cosine. If you want to apply the L'Hopital's rule, you have to understand that the function here should be of the form f of x divided by g of x. So it can be as messy as possible, but every term in the numerator is f of x and all the terms in the denominator is the g of x. But the format here, 1 over cosine minus sine over cosine, is still not in the format as above, f over g. So I want you to combine the two fractions and do rewrite limit x approaching pi over 2 minus. I want you to write this as 1 over sine minus x, 1 minus sine x divided by cosine x. So all you're doing is a common denominator, which is cosine x, and you want to add the fractions. Now we are all set to apply the L'Hopital's rule, so let's do that. Limit x approaching pi over 2 minus, you have differentiation of 1, which is 0, differentiation of sine is cosine, you already have a negative, it remains. Differentiation of cosine is sine, you already have a negative, so it remains. Now you're good to plug in the limit, the negatives cancel, plug in x equal to pi over 2 here in the numerator and x equal to pi over 2 in the denominator. So you have 0 in the numerator, cancel the negatives, cosine pi over 2 is 0 and then sine pi over 2 is 1. Simplify, you have the answer is 0. 0 over any number is 0. In the next example, you have difference of two fractions where each fraction is a rational expression and one is with the ln curve. So the natural log of the function. So you want to first know how the natural log of function graph looks like. It passes through this point 1, 0 and it's as close as possible to your y-axis, but it will not touch your y-axis. Okay, so in the very first step, let me apply the limit and check the format. When x is approaching 1, when I plug in the limit, I have 1 over 1 minus 1. So I have 1 over 0. 1 over 0 is infinity, so I'm going to write infinity. And then I write 1 over ln 1. Ln at 1 is 0. You see this from the graph that ln 1 is 0. So still 1 over 0 is infinity, so I'm going to write it as infinity. So when x is approaching 1 from the right, I'm going to specify when x approaching 1 from the right, 1 plus, that's in this direction. I have the value of the function to be infinity minus infinity. Similarly, you can try when x is approaching 1 from the left, that's in this direction. I have 1 from the left, 1 over 1 minus 1. So 1 minus 1 will be 0, and then I have 1 over 0, which is infinity, and then plug in 1 over ln1, ln1, 1 approaching from the left, you have negative infinity. The curve is going down. So you can write it as negative infinity, positive infinity. So you can write this function negative infinity, negative of negative infinity. It turns out to be negative infinity, positive infinity, which is same as this one. So well, we don't want to split it now as 1 minus 1 plus. So let's do just for the function 1, x approaching 1. So let's write limit x approaching 1. Let's differentiate the numerator because we have infinity minus infinity form. We can apply the L'Hopital's rule at this step. Differentiate the numerator, or you have difference of two fraction. You might want to combine it as one fraction, say f of x over g of x, before you start applying the L'Hopital's rule. So let me first simplify this expression before I apply the L'Hopital's rule. I'm going to multiply the numerator by ln x and the denominator by ln x. Idea is I want to make a common denominator. Then I'll multiply the second fraction by x minus 1. Again, idea is to make a common denominator term. Now that we have a common denominator, I want to combine the denominators x minus 1 times ln x and then write x ln x in the numerator minus of, I want to multiply this minus out. So it's minus of x and then minus of minus, which is plus 1. I have the limit value as x approaching 1. Now I want to plug in the limit and check. If I plug in the limit, we know that x approaching 1, the first value will be 1 times ln1. ln1 is 0, so it's 1. 1 minus 1 plus 1. And in the denominator, this will be 1 times ln1, so it's 1 times 0, the entire term is 0, negative 1, positive 1. So first term is 0, 1 minus 1 you can add as 0. Similarly, the denominator term will be 1 minus 1, which is 0, ln1 is also 0, 0 times 0 is 0. So now that you got 0 over 0 form, you can apply the L'Hopital's rule. So differentiate the numerator, x times ln. X times ln, if you want to differentiate, it's product of two functions, so you will do the product rule. So all you get is 1 times ln x, and then you get x times 1 over x. Differentiate function x, you have negative 1. Differentiate 1, it's 0, so don't write it. Similarly, in the denominator, you want to differentiate, it's 1 times ln x plus x times 1 over x, negative 1 over x. You might want to multiply out this ln x for each term, x and then 1, before you do the product rule for the denominator. Now that you did the L'Hopital's rule, you're good to simplify a little bit. So before you check the limit, this is limit x approaching 1. I'm going to write the numerator as ln x plus 1 minus 1 divided by ln x, again a plus 1 and then negative 1 over x. Now you want to check the limit. So this is limit x approaching 1 ln x, the numerator, divided by ln x plus 1 negative 1 over. So now you can check the limit by plugging in ln1 is 0. In the denominator you have ln1 is 0. 0 plus 1 minus 1 still 0. Still you are getting the 0 over 0 form, which means you can do the L'Hopital's rule again. So it's limit x approaching 1, differentiate the numerator 1 over x, differentiate the denominator 1 over x plus 1 over x squared. So you have 1 over 1 plus 1, which is 1 over half. When you evaluate x equal to 1, you get 1 over half. Next example, limit x approaching 0 plus ln x minus 1 over x. First, you want to understand the graphs of this function. So when x is approaching 0 from the right, the value of the function ln x goes to negative infinity. So let's check this. The ln x graph looks like this. This is 1. When x is approaching 0 from the right, this is x approaching 0 plus, you see the value of the function is going down to negative infinity. Similarly, you want to check the 1 over x graph. This is the ln x graph, this is the 1 over x graph. You have curves which are symmetric towards the origin and it does not cross the origin. So when x is approaching 0 from the right, you see that the value of the function is going to infinity. So we would like to write the first value is negative infinity from the ln curve. Then you have a negative sign. Then the limit of the function is going to positive infinity. Now this negative and positive sign you can multiply out. You have negative infinity, negative infinity. So both the limits are going to negative infinity. So in general you can say the limit of the function is going to negative infinity. Again, you're not adding or subtracting infinity. All you're saying is the functional value is going to negative infinity. The next type of limits are 0 times infinity. So far we have seen two cases where we saw 0 over 0 and infinity over infinity. So for the 0 times infinity, suppose say you have a problem f times g, the product of function. Say f of x goes to 0 and say g of x goes to infinity. Then you can write f times g as f over 1 over g. Or you can write g divided by, or I can write this type of division here, 1 over f. So you have g going to infinity. So 1 over g, 1 over infinity will be 0. And so f over 0, which means it's 0 over 0 because f also goes to 0. So all you have is 0 over 0 form. Or the second one will give you infinity over infinity form. So 0 to infinity, 0 times infinity, this particular case will be reduced to either 0 over 0 form or it will be reduced to infinity over infinity form. Again, we are familiar with these two from the previous topic. So let's do this. When x is approaching infinity, we want to check the value of the function. The first value, when you plug in x infinity, you get infinity. The second value, x is infinity. When you plug in here 2 over infinity, any number over infinity is 0. So you want to read ln 1. ln 1 is 0, so your answer is 0. So there are two ways to rewrite this function. Either it can be a 0 over 0 or it can be infinity over infinity form. So the first way to rewrite it, you can rewrite in two ways. X square, keep on the top, divided by 1 slash ln 1 minus 2 divided by x square. Or you can write it as keep ln on the top, 1 minus 2 over x square, and bring the x square to the bottom. So it's 1 over x square. So now let's evaluate the limit. Limit x approaching infinity, ln of 1 minus 2 over x square divided by 1 over x square equals limit x approaching infinity, you might want to plug in and check the value of the limit. The numerator is 0 when you plug in x equal to infinity. Plug in again, the denominator is 0. So you got a 0 over 0 form. So let me rewrite the function a little bit before I apply the rule. Let me write the numerator as 1 minus 2x to the negative 2. Denominator is x to the negative 2. Now that we have rewritten it, let's do this. Let's write the L'Hopital's rule for this step, which means we want to differentiate the numerator, which is differentiation of natural log of function is 1 over the same natural log function. But you have to do a chain rule for this. Differentiate the denominator again. You have 4x to the negative 3. The entire fraction is divided by 2x to the negative 3 with a negative sign. Now evaluate the limit x approaching infinity 4 over x cube divided by 1 minus 2 over x square. The entire function is divided by negative 2 divided by x to the 3. Simplify a little bit. Limit x approaching infinity 4 over x cube divided by 1 minus 2 over x square times this fraction here. You want to take it to the numerator. Rewrite it as 1 over the term, or you can rewrite it as x cube divided by negative 2. Now we are all set to simplify. You see x cube terms you can cancel, and then 4 and negative 2 can cancel. So all you have is limit x approaching infinity negative 2 divided by 1 minus 2 over x squared. So plug in x equal to infinity and you have negative 2. In the next example, x approaching pi over 2 minus 2x minus pi secant x. Plug in the first limit x equal to pi over 2, you get 0. Plug in the second limit x equal to pi over 2, you get infinity. So it is 0 times infinity. So you want to rewrite the function as limit x approaching pi over 2 minus, and then you have 2x minus pi in the numerator divided by secant x goes to the denominator cosine x. So you want to write limit x approaching pi over 2 divided by negative sine x. So it's 2 divided by negative 1, which is negative 2. So at this step, maybe I'm miswriting it, but let me add it here. In the very first step, when you plug in x equal to pi over 2, you get 0 over 0 form. So what we did was, we did apply the L'Hopital's rule here. The next is infinity to the 0, 1 to the infinity, and 0 to the 0. Some infinity functions with power as 0 or infinity. So in all these examples, you have to be very careful about the format. So let me do an example with a nice neat format first, and then let me do a particular example. So you always want to rewrite the problem as some expression a limit of the function f of x, where the exponent is also a function g of x. So you want to take natural log on both the sides. Ln a equals ln of limit f of x, and then you have exponent g of x. Now you know that using a property of limits, that this limit in the land can be swapped. So you can write limit ln f of x, and then you have this g of x exponent. Now you can write this as a limit g of x times ln of f of x. So what you're doing is you're trying to rearrange the function here so that you get a nice neat format. The formula I used here is, if you have a natural log of the function m exponent n, this exponent n can be brought to the front, so it becomes ln ln and then of the function m. So that's what we did here. Now doing this, you want to plug in and check the format carefully. Limit when g of x, say this type of limit is approaching 0, x approaching 0, so gx goes to 0. And then you have ln of f of x, which may end up going to infinity. So you have 0 times infinity pattern. So once you have this nice neat pattern, you want to write ln a equal to L, and then a can be written as e to the L. Then you can write limit f of x exponent g of x exponential ln of f of x g of x, and then limit, maybe I'm missing an expression here, so let me write limit. So this is equal to limit exponential g of x, and then you have ln of f of x. So you have exponential limit g of x and then ln of f of x. Let me clearly write the exponent is g here, so let me use a different color to specify the exponent. Again, all these are the exponent, all these are the exponent. So you started with a small exponent, which is g of x, and then using the properties of natural log function and the natural exponential function, you raise the entire exponent to a new limit function. Having done all this, now you can come back to this step and write limit ln of a equal to some new constant, say L, and then you can rewrite as a equal to e to the L. So let's do this example. Evaluate the limits. As soon as you plug in x equal to 1, you see that the numerator becomes 1, 2 minus x becomes 1, 2 minus 1 is 1. And when you plug in the exponent, 4 divided by 1 minus 1, 4 divided by 0 is infinity. So you have 1 to the infinity form. Now you want to rewrite the given expression as a, and then you take L natural log on both the sides. So it is natural log of a equal to limit x approaching 1 plus, and then you have ln 2 minus x, and then you have 4 divided by x minus 1. Now you want to write this as natural log of a limit of x approaching 1 plus. I want to bring this 4 over x to the x minus 1 to the front, because as a natural log exponent it goes to the front like this, and write the remaining log term, it's log of 2 minus x. Now you're good to apply the L'Hopital's rule. Again, before you apply, make sure you check the limits. When I plug in 1 here, I have ln 2 minus 1, ln 1, ln 1 is 0, so numerator becomes 0. Denominator 1 minus 1, 0. I get an indeterminate form, so I apply L'Hopital's rule. So the L'Hopital's rule becomes x approaching 1 plus 4 times negative 1 divided by 2 minus x divided by 1. So differentiating, we get this, and then plug in the limits. We have negative 4 over 1 divided by 1, which is -4. So now we have natural log of a is -4. So you can write a equal to you're writing natural log to exponential form. So a equal to e to the -4, and this is your final answer after all this hard work. One last example in this section. Limit x approaching a 1 plus 3 over x to the 2x. So rewrite the given expression as a and then write natural log of a equal to limit x approaching infinity natural log of 1 plus 3 over x, and then you have 2x. Now rewrite this function. The left hand side is the same. The right hand side will be limit of x approaching infinity 2x times ln times 1 plus 3x. Now you can rewrite this as natural log limit x approaching infinity 2 natural log 1 plus 3 over x, and then you have 1 over x. So we started by rewriting the expression as a, we did a natural log on both the sides, and we are bringing this exponent 2x in the front here. That is what the step says, using a natural log property. And we also want to rewrite the function as 2 times ln and the 1 over x in the denominator. This is rewriting the f times g, what we learned in the previous topic. F times g can be written as f times 1 over g, or you can fix g in the numerator, write f as 1 over f. That's what we are doing here. The format is, if we want to get a 0 times infinity form, then it's easy to evaluate the function. Now let's write ln a, which is limit x approaching infinity. When you plug in x equal to infinity at this step, you see that you have 0 over 0 form. So 0 over 0 form leads us to applying the L'Hopital's rule. So differentiate the numerator. 2 divided by 2 times natural log differentiation is 1 over the same function. So it's 1 over 1 plus 3x. Differentiate 1 plus 3x, it's -3 over x squared. Divided by differentiate 1 over x, -1 over x squared. Now you can evaluate the limit. Limit x approaching infinity. Simplify the numerator, -6 divided by x squared. Denominator will be 1 plus 3 over x times -x squared. Simplify a little bit, you can write limit x approaching infinity, -6 divided by 1 plus 3 over x. Now plug in x equal to infinity, you have -6. So after all this hard work, we are getting ln a equal to -6. You can rewrite this as a equal to -6, or sorry, it cannot be -6, but rather it is exponential -6. One last problem in this section. Limit x approaching 1 plus x to the 1 minus 1 over 1 minus x. So rewrite the expression as a, write natural log a equal to limit x approaching 1 plus natural log of x to the 1 over 1 minus x. So this is limit x approaching 1 plus ln x divided by 1 minus x. Apply the L'Hopital's rule because you're getting a 0 over 0 form here. Limit x approaching 1 plus 1 over x divided by -1, -1. So you have natural log of a equal to -1. So you can write a equal to e to the -1, which is your final answer. So we're going to stop this section here.